Welcome to Wednesday Art with Mrs. Cavanis. For today's art project, you're going to need a piece of orange paper. You can use orange copy paper like me or a piece of orange construction paper and a pair of scissors. No pencil needed, no Sharpies, no crayons or anything, just paper and a pair of scissors. Now, if you don't have a piece of orange construction paper, you're going to need to get a piece of plain white paper and an orange crayon, and you can color it. You're going to want to color both sides of the paper so it looks like you have a full orange piece of paper. Okay, so today's art project is really fun. I look forward to this with my class every year. It's a story, and in the story, you're going to be following directions with your pair of scissors and your piece of paper. So as you listen to the story, make sure you follow directions really well. I will model the directions on my piece of paper while you follow along at home. Now, in the classroom, if you don't follow directions very well, yours doesn't turn out the way that it's supposed to. The cool thing about being at home is if you don't follow the directions very well and yours doesn't turn out at the end, you can rewind this video and try it with a new piece of paper again. Kind of one of the cool things about not being live together. Okay, so let's get started. This story is called The Little Orange House. So that's why you need a piece of orange paper. Here we go. Just leave your stuff on the table. You don't need to do anything with it yet. Once upon a time, a very small witch was walking in the woods. The cold wind was blowing the dry leaves all around her. The little witch was frantically searching for a house for the winter. She could not find one. Suddenly, a piece of orange paper, blown by the wind, landed at her feet. She picked it up. The little witch looked closely at the paper, and then she said, "I shall make myself a house from this piece of orange paper." She folded the paper in half. You need to fold your paper in half this way. She folded the paper in half and took her scissors. She always has a pair in her pocket, and cut off the two corners to make a roof for her house. We're going to cut just like the little witch did on the not folded corners. So here's my fold. We do not want to cut on the folded edges. That will ruin your house. You want to cut on the not folded edges. Okay, so keep it folded, and all you're going to do is just snip off the little corners here. So snip on the not folded edges and snip. Okay, that's it so far. Okay, this will do just fine, she said as she looked at her new house, but I will need a door. She always wears a pointed witch hat, so she cut a special door that looked just like this so that her hat could fit through it. So we are going to turn it this way to the folded edge, and we are going to cut on the folded edge. Over here on the side, you're going to come up just a little bit. We're going to go over so that her pointy hat can fit through the door. Okay, and we're going to come up and meet that line right there. Okay, so on your folded edge, you now should have a little shape that looks like that. Don't forget to put these guys in the garbage or recycling bin at your house so that your parents don't have little pieces of orange paper all over the place. Okay, so I will need a door. She always wore a pointed hat, so she cut a special door for her hat to fit through. The little witch walked through the door and into the little orange house. It was very dark inside. She quickly hurried back outside. I will need to make windows to let in the light, said the little witch. So she cut a front and a back window that looked just like this. So what we need to do is up here in this space that we haven't done anything with yet, we're going to actually be stabbing our scissors through so that we can cut a little square without cutting through the sidelines. So you might want to use, sometimes I use a pencil first to stab a hole. You just want to make sure you don't stab your fingers on the other side. So I make sure to put my fingers apart when I stab through. But you can also stab with a pencil, or you can ask a grown-up to help you stab a hole in there. When we're in the classroom, I make you do this part on your own. Okay, so now we're just going to cut a little square for a window. After you stab your scissors through, you can push pause also if I go too quickly. Mine's more of a rectangle than a square, but it doesn't matter. Here's a square or a rectangle. Okay. Okay, so now she has her door and she has her window. Oh, it was a fine looking house, her very own little house, with a roof, a door, and windows was all finished. But just as the little witch started to go inside for the winter, she saw a tiny ghost floating down the windswept path. As the tiny ghost came to a stop near the little house, the little witch saw that she was crying. "Why are you crying?" asked the little witch. The tiny ghost stopped crying and answered, "It's cold and windy. It is getting dark, and I have no place to spend the winter." "Well, you may spend the winter in my new house," said the kind little witch. "Oh, thank you," said the happy tiny ghost as she peeked through the window. "This is a very nice orange house." "First," said the little witch, "I will need to make you a little door of your very own." So the little witch took her scissors again and began to cut. She cut a very tiny door, and it looked like this. So we're going to come between the witch's door and the window, and we're going to give our ghost a little tiny triangle door. The two happy new friends went inside. The tiny ghost went in the very little door. The little witch went through her very own special pointy door. All winter long they lived happily together inside the little orange house. If you want to see the inside of their house, all you have to do now is unfold your paper. And the inside of their house looks like what? A jack-o'-lantern. Isn't that great? I love this project. Now in the classroom, I usually give you a little green rectangle or square now that you can use your glue stick to glue to the top to stick out the top here. So if you want to, and you have paper, you can glue a stem on your pumpkin. You could add eyelashes if you wanted to add details to the inside to decorate the inside of the witch and the pumpkin's the witch and the ghost house. You could give them little furniture if you wanted to draw chairs or different things in here. So it's your little witch and ghost house. You can decorate it however you'd like. I can't wait to see what yours turns out looking like when you turn it in for today's art project. I hope that you enjoyed story/art time, The Little Orange House. It's one of my favorites every year. Thank you for joining me. Bye.